Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's January 12th council meeting. February 12th, thank you. So, call to order. Roll call, please.
Brewster.
Here.
Walters.
Here.
Rarden.
Here.
Ewert. Here. Benner.
Here.
Harton.
Here.
Crum.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
All right, the invocation tonight will be given by Brian Sander from First Baptist Church.
Join me in prayer. Father, we thank you so much for just the elected officials who serve this town, Father. God, I thank you that they care, God, that they love this city. Lord, I thank you that they're here to make Haysville a better place, God. And Lord, I pray that you would just bless tonight's meeting. Father, you tell us in Scripture that you're a God of peace and order, not of chaos. And Lord, I pray that just you would just bring things about in Haysville to make Haysville a better place. God, we pray for just everyone who serves the city, Lord, for our police, our firefighters, first responders. Lord, I pray that you would just have your blessing upon our town, God. Father, as we all strive to just live and make it a better place, Father, would you bless our efforts? God, would you bring just peace and order to tonight? Father, we give you all the honor and the glory, and we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next we have presentation and approval of minutes. Minutes of January 8th, 2024. Councilman Benner.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes of the January 8th, 2024 meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of January 8th, 2024. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rarden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Harton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have item 1, citizens to be heard. We had not scheduled, but I did ask Susie Sutton to speak. She is my appointee to the Fire District Number 1 Steering Council. So she wanted to give an update on what is going on with the Fire District 1 Steering Council.
Good evening. I'm Susie Sutton, the Sedgwick County Fire District Number 1 Steering Committee representative for Haysville. I just wanted to update you for our progress since kind of I started. We've recommended the 2023 budget and that was approved. We also made a recommendation to officially recognize the union, which was disbanded, I think 2013, and that was not even up for consideration at this time. There are several reasons that was important, because the HR makes decisions based for in the entire county, and those don't always fit with the fire district or the fire department, such as they just made a decision to give parental leave to both parents for, I want to say, it's either 6 or 8 weeks, and it has to be in a row in the first 6 months of the child being added to the family. And I say that because it could be adopted or natural birth. That doesn't work too well for the fire department. And there's been other things like that. And whenever that happens, they don't consult the chief or anything. They just say, we're doing this. And so then the chief has to take time out of his running the fire department to go and basically fight with HR and the other administrators and say, this doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. So if they had a union and had a contract and that contract was in place, then the chief could focus on running the fire department. So that was why it's important for that. And I'm trying to run through this so I don't take a lot of time. They also have, we've also made a recommendation for this payroll step plan that has been in place but not followed for, I don't remember how many years, but we made the recommendation to put it back in place and follow it. That was approved. It covers all personnel except for the fire chief and deputy fire chiefs. The personnel had not received raises for over 10 years. They would have a year that they may have gotten a 1% COLA or a 1% recognition increase, but that ended at the end of that year. So we finally were able to get them the step plan implemented, and so they were able to get back on track for their performance and pay raises throughout every year and be back on track so they're appropriately paid for their responsibilities. We are currently in the review process and discussions of pay for those firemen and firewomen who have advanced medical certifications. Everyone's required to have the basic, I don't want to say entry level, but the basic level medical certifications. But there's several out there who have advanced MICT licenses. Some keep up their certification, but some don't because they don't get any extra pay. Most fire districts pay extra for that certification. So we're in the process of reviewing that and trying to get that implemented. And then we are also in the process of looking at other ways to have the fire district be more efficient and manage the public financing and be more responsible for that for the fire district. And then also approve the 2024 budget already. And then one thing that we all are going to are the bodies that we represent and educating everyone is we know bringing in business is good for the this town of Haysville, and sometimes it requires tax incentives and such, but we want to also make sure that everyone understands that, for instance, giving away the tax abatement for like the assisted living for 10 years. When we do that, that also gives away the taxes that cover the fire district. And so, but they still are responsible for providing services for those businesses. And it's not just Haysville, it's the entire Sedgwick County. And so when any entity provides a tax abatement for a business, even such as that big circuit manufacturer that's coming to the north side of Wichita, and I think it's Bel Air or Belle Plaine has done that for that facility for 10 years. We're talking several $1 million that is not going to the fire district, but yet they have to provide service to that facility. And it could cost a lot of their resources if there's one incident. So that is one thing to keep in mind when we do those tax abatements and things, that we still have to provide service. The emergency services as well as the fire department still have to provide services. So it's just one thing we're all going to remind everyone. And also, if there's anything that you all need or want to bring to our attention and want from the fire department or want to add, please let me know anytime. That's all I have. Do you have any questions?
All right, thank you, Susie. And,
Okay.
thank you for serving on that committee.
Thank you.
All right, next we have item 2, approval of license and bonds. We have none. Item 3, introduction of ordinances and resolutions. A, an ordinance to submit to the qualified electors of the city of Haysville, Kansas, the proposition of levying a general purpose 1% retailer sales tax, of which 10% will be used to reduce property taxes, 50% will be used to fund the local street program, and 40% will be used to fund the park and recreation improvement program within the city of Haysville, Sedgwick County, Kansas. So this is the one we talked about last month as far as having a special election. what would council like to do?
Question?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so a special election, what does it cost to hold a special election? And if we approve this, what are we doing different since it failed last time in order to promote this to the general population?
Sure, we will be, having somebody promote this as far as, letting everybody know exactly what this, is and what it entails and, what it's not. I think Will's looking that up.
It's $6,151.
Councilman Walters, didn't you hear that?
Is that number 4?
Say that again?
$6,151.
That $6,000, what is that about?
That's for the in-person election costs from the county election office.
Okay,
Any other, Councilman Crum?
I'll make a motion that we approve an ordinance to submit to the qualified electors of the city of Haysville, Kansas, the proposition of levying a general purpose 1% retailer sales tax, of which 10% will be to reduce property taxes, 50% will be used to fund a local street program, and 40% will be used to fund park and rec improvement program within the city of Haysville, Sedgwick County, Kansas.
Councilperson Parton?
And as far as someone to promote it, we're having town hall meetings and things like that.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve this ordinance. Any further discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters,
yes.
Varden,
Yes.
Ewart, Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have item B, an ordinance rezoning real property located within the city of Haysville, Kansas, and amending the official zoning map or maps of the city to reflect such amendment, all pursuant to the zoning regulations of the city. We have Jonathan. So this is the ordinance that was sent back to Planning Commission at our last meeting.
Thank you, and good evening, Mayor and Council. On January 11th, the Planning Commission reviewed the zone change for the Shook addition again. Staff read the memo from City Council. The Planning Commission Chair read Mr. Booty's letter. Mr. Booty and Mrs. Barger were allowed to speak. The Commission reviewed the golden rules in the staff report. A motion to approve the zone change was on the findings of the, based on the facts, was passed. The applicant is here if you have any questions, and this is not before you for any questions you may have.
So what would the council like to do? Councilman Benner?
I make a motion, we approve the ordinance rezoning the real property located within the city of Haysville, Kansas, and amending the official zoning map or maps of the city to reflect such amendment.
We have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Varden,
Yes.
Ewart, Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crum, Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have item C, an ordinance rezoning real property located within the city of Haysville, Kansas, and amending the official zoning map or maps of the city to reflect such amendment, all pursuant to the zoning regulations of the city. Jonathan?
Thank you. On January 11th, the Planning Commission held a public hearing for a zone change from light commercial and single-family residential to two-family residential. The properties are located north of Grand Avenue and east of Plaza Drive and are highlighted in purple on the map in the staff report before you. Several questions were brought up by concerned citizens in the area that are covered in the minutes. A motion to approve the zone change based on the finding of facts was passed. This is now before you for your consideration.
So what would the public council like to do with this one?
I know it's not a hearing, but can we hear from some of the people that are here tonight?
It's not a public hearing,
Well,
and
I
they
know.
had the opportunity to speak at the public hearing at the planning commission. I mean, that's the That's the purpose of the planning commission, is to hold the public hearing. It's not at city council.
We're here to speak on
Councilman Gordon?
I make a motion to, on the ordinance to rezone real property located within the city of Haysville, Kansas, and amend the official zoning map or maps of the city to reflect such amendments, all pursuant to the zoning regulations of the city.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ewart,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
No.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have item D, an ordinance amending membership fees for the Haysville Activity Center. Rob?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I would like to propose the following rate increases for the membership packages beginning March 1st of 2024 at the Haysville Activity Center. This would be a $5 increase to 3-month memberships, $10 increase to 6, and $20 increase on annual memberships. This will go both for single and family. For senior citizen memberships, we do a $5 increase on 3 and 6-month memberships, and a $10 increase on the annual. In addition to this increase, I would like to propose a Hack Plus membership, which would include 24-hour access to the fitness center and walking track, and then all of their fitness classes that we offer would be included at this rate as well. A single membership for the year would be $240, senior citizen would be $200, and military singles would be $200 for the year. We've not made any rate increases since 2014, and we remain one of the most affordable rec facilities in the area. This is before your consideration.
Councilperson Parton?
I noticed online you have one for middle and high school students that's not on here. Are you taking that away?
No, it's, it'll increase it'll make its increase for, by $5. So it ends up being $25 for 1 month, 3 months is $40, 6 months is $65, and a year's $110 for high school and middle school kids.
I just noticed it wasn't on here, so.
Councilman Crum?
Can you kind of give me an idea what the 24-hour access, how that would work?
Yeah, they are given a 4-digit code to the activity center. They would have access to lockers, walking track, and the weight room. As they would come in, they would punch their code in, which would give them access to the facility, and it'll be set up to start and stop automatically when their membership expires.
Are there concerns of people going in to the weight room area and working out without somebody else there to spot or do anything like that?
We would encourage them to use a buddy system, to not go in by themselves. That way they do have a spotter. But there's people that go, lift all the time by themselves. We'd strongly encourage them to have somebody there with them.
We're gonna have camera coverage in that area.
Yep, we have good camera coverage on the entrance and the hallways and across the weight room, walking track.
4-digit codes, everybody have an individual 4-digit code, or is it gonna be like,
And each person will have their own.
so that
individual
you'll know
code.
who's in and who's,
Yep, they'll punch in their code and they've got a camera right on them, and we take their picture as well, so we know that Steve Crum accessed the facility at this time. And it was only him, and he wasn't bringing everybody with him.
okay, I was just curious.
So what would council like to do with this ordinance? Councilman Crum?
I'll make a motion, we approve the ordinance amending the membership fees for the Haysville Activity Center as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance amending membership fees for the Haysville Activity Center as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ewart. Yes. Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
No.
All right, next we have item 4, notices and communications. A, governing body announcements. Councilman Crum?
Going on with the library. On the 15th, so Thursday, will be another Parents as Teachers Sing and Rhyme Story Time. Those are on Thursdays. The Friends of the Library are gonna have, at the Senior Center, are gonna have a chili cook-off on the 17th from 11 to 2. The next Lego Club meeting will be at 4 o'clock on February 21st. And then again on the 22nd, you're gonna have the Parents as Teachers Sing and Rhyme Time. On the 28th at 4 p.m. is Know Your Role. On the 29th is another rhyme story time. And then a library board meeting on February 29th. And then I know they're already taking orders for Pie Day, which is March 14th. They're going ahead and take orders ahead of time. I know if you want to order a cream pie, you have to order those ahead of time. But they are taking pre-orders right now for that. And I also wanted to mention, coming up, February 23rd, 24th, and 25th will be our 12th annual Swim to a Wish. The campus boys swim team does this every year. It's a 100-mile relay. We've got 5 boys that swim 20 miles each relay style. We'll start Friday, the 23rd at about 4:15, and they will swim until we've got 100 yards in, which usually gets us done around noon or 1 o'clock on Sunday. Derby High School is joining us again this year at our pool, and Wichita North is also joining us at our pool. Salina South and Salina Central are gonna do the event with us in Salina, and Wichita Northwest is also going to do the event, but they're gonna do it the next weekend. So we've got 6 schools altogether doing it this year. In the 11 years we've done this, we have raised about $300,000 for Make-A-Wish Kansas, Missouri. Make-A-Wish, we're one of their largest donors that is a privately run, they don't help us with anything. They help us with, they give us a website and they put out a public announcement about it, and that's really all they do. We do everything else. It's just a really good thing. The community's always gotten behind us. They always have a competition to see kind of which team can raise the most money. Nobody's even come close to us. I think our goal this year is about 27,000. I think we're hoping just campus. If that would grant about 3 full wishes, and then everybody else together, we try to get them to get 1 or 2, and we try to grant that many wishes. So, but that's coming up, and so just be looking out for that. We get a lot of help from the local businesses. A lot of them will donate food for the event. Some of them will even come up and do stuff for the kids while they're doing it. So, but that's coming up. I just want to remind everybody about that. That's all I got.
It's I've always thought that was a great event. Raising money for Make-A-Wish.
It definitely turned into something we didn't know it was going to turn into.
It's gotten bigger.
Yep.
Anybody else have any other announcements? I have some from the Senior Center. So some Senior Center upcoming events. The 4th annual chili cook-off and craft fair and bake sale and raffle baskets. That is this Saturday. It's always a really big event. So there's always you're looking for parking out there. So get there early, and it's always a good time. Lots of chili, lots of crafts. February 17th from 11 to 2. Oh, that's Saturday. All right, so Valentine's Day Ice Cream Social, February 14th at 1 p.m. The Black Canvas Floral Paint Party, $10 a person, March 2nd at 10 a.m. There's a new 16-week enhanced fitness program beginning March 4th. That's on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That is at 1 p.m. This program focuses on strength and balance, and is free to current members. Some recurring programs at the Senior Center: Dominoes, donuts, coffee and conversation, chair yoga, billiards, bingo, bunco, cards, drumming, well rep, writing class, and crafting club. Some of the hustle numbers for January this year: one-way riders 251, and new registered riders 6. All right, next we have item 4B, the Sedgwick County Fire Department Station 34 monthly report. It's in your packet. We have a memo regarding federal forfeiture funds report. Item D, we have a memo regarding a drinking establishment license for Aztecas at 111 North Main Street. And item 5, old business, we have A, consideration of changes to the land use map. Which is in your packet. Jonathan's going to speak.
Thank you. The Planning Commission held a workshop and then a public hearing to review revisions to the land use map. Recommended revisions are in the memo before you. This is now before you for your consideration.
Councilman Crum?
Make a motion that we approve the consideration of the changes to the land use map as presented.
Second.
We have motion and a second to approve the consideration of changes to the land use map. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Pardon,
Yes.
Ewart. Yes. Benner,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have item 6, other business. A, consideration of approval of final costs assessment rule notices and for the establishment of public hearing date regarding Coppertail Edition bond issue. This will be the public hearing set for March 11th, 7 PM or soon thereafter. And we, go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor
Good evening.
Kessler. Ladies and gentlemen of the council, Brett Sjogren with Stiefel Public Finance in Wichita, financial advisor of the city. You've been through this process many times before, but it has been a while, and there are new members of the council. So I'm going to go through some background. In March of 2022, developers submitted petitions for infrastructure improvements to be completed prior to construction of homes in the Coppertail Edition. This is a pretty common process in Kansas where cities issue temporary financing to construct those projects. And then after the projects are finished construction, they issue GO bonds to then be paid off via special assessments from the property owners. On April 11th of 2022, the City Council accepted petitions for water, sewer, paving, and stormwater drainage improvements, authorized the projects to be completed, and authorized the sale of GO temporary notes to provide temporary finance to construct those projects. On May 9th of 2022, the city sold general obligation temporary notes to provide the temporary funds for the projects and began construction. Construction is now complete and final costs have been submitted to your administration. The final costs for the projects, the water improvements are $204,218.28 to be spread over the 33 lots. That's $6,188.43 per lot. The sanitary sewer improvements are $245,766.08. Spread over the 33 lots is $7,447.46 per lot. Paving improvements were $828,376.98. Spread over the 33 lots is $25,102.34 per lot. And the stormwater drainage improvements were $111,638.66. Over the 33 lots is $3,382.92 per lot. These amounts by petition will be spread and assessed evenly over each lot in the improvement district. To begin this process, we'll need a motion on second and vote to do 5 things: to approve the statement of final costs, the assessment roll certification, the notice of public hearing, and the form of notice of hearing and statement of cost to be assessed. I believe all those exhibits are in your packet. It also schedules a public hearing for Monday, March 11th to hear any and all written or oral objections to the assessments. Number 3 is to cause the city clerk to publish the notice of public hearing in the Haysville Sun-Times and on your city website. It will mail the notice of hearing and statement of cost to be assessed to the current property owners. And number 5 is to make all documents of record available to the public for inspection. After the public hearing on March 11th, the city council will consider an ordinance to finalize the special assessments and spread them to the property owners. Every property owner will be notified via mail as well as in the newspaper, and they'll have until Wednesday, April 3rd to prepay any or all of their assessments. If they're not prepaid in full by April 3rd, the GO bonds will be sold and issued, and the amounts that were not prepaid will be paid via special assessment taxes over 20 annual installments with interest. Any amount that is prepaid will be applied to the bond issue sizing, and we can issue fewer bonds, and that amount will be deducted from the property owners who prepaid their specials balance. The plan is to adopt the bond sale resolution on April 8th and have a bond sale on May 13th and close the bond issue on May 30th. This will provide the funds to pay off the temporary note on June the 1st. The city will be submitting the assessment documentation to Sedgwick County in late August in order to levy the specials. Specials taxes will go on the tax rolls on your upcoming budget and will show up on the property owner's tax statements beginning in December of '24. City will begin collecting specials taxes in December and January to start making the bond payments in 2025. There's a small interest payment due that will be due on October 1st of '24, but that will be paid with bond proceeds, including within the sizing of the bond issue, since taxes won't start collection until December of '24. I'd be happy to stand for any questions you may have regarding the process.
Council have any questions? What would you like to do? Councilman Bitter?
There's no questions. I would make a motion that we, I move that we take action on the 5 actions as presented in the document. Do I need to read all those?
You just read what it says right here. Under, right to repeat it.
Okay, I thought we had to pass the 5 motions or the 5 actions that were enumerated in the document. That's what I'm making a motion for.
Okay. Is there a second? So we have a motion and a second to approve the consideration of approval, final cost and the rest of the items as presented in the packet. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, next we have item B, consideration of agreement with Minter and Pollock LC for city attorney and city prosecutor services. There is one mistake in your packet. It's on item 7.1. It should be, let's see. City shall cost payment to be made to contractor at the rate of $6,300 monthly, of which it should say $2,000 per month represents compensation for contractor services as city prosecutor under this agreement. Instead of, there's just one too many zeros in there. It's just 2 comma and 4 zeros, so it's 2,000.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. You try to slip one in. Thompson caught that one. Trying to get a raise. Councilperson Martin?
Make a motion, we approve the service provider agreement with Minter and Pollock with the change as stated.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with Minter and Pollock. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ewert, yes, Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you. Next we have item C, consideration of nuisance abatement provider. Tony?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In an effort to ensure the health and safety of our residents, we have requested proposals from contractors for nuisance abatement services. I've attached the bid tab results in your packet. After internal review, we are recommending the approval of 2 contractors this year. This will allow us to efficiently address nuisance concerns in a timely manner. Therefore, I'm requesting authorization to accept the proposals from H&H Lawn Service and Young's Affordable Lawn and Tree Care LLC for this calendar year. I stand for any questions.
Councilperson Barton?
So are we going to go with H&H, and if H&H isn't available since they're less expensive, then go to Young's?
That's exactly correct.
Okay.
We ran into a few issues last year. It's just, most of these landscaping are owned by like one person and maybe an employee, where equipment issues kind of delays things, especially when it comes to mowing grass. Time is kind of the essence.
Councilperson Barton?
There's not a discussion. I would make a motion to approve the nuisance abatement providers as Tony presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the nuisance abatement providers as presented. Any questions, discussion? Councilman Crum?
Tony, the last couple of years, haven't we been unable to get more than like one bid?
Yeah, H&H has been our contractor for the last 2 years. Last year, I believe we sent out 50 requests for proposals. This year we did 8. We included all the local ones, then also reached out to a few we've kind of worked with in the past, and I would say fortunate to have 2, I guess. We had 3 bidders.
I was just curious. I was thinking it'd been a couple of years since we've had more than one bid come in, so. Okay, thank you.
I'll look for your bid next year.
Any further discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Ewart. Yes. Benner.
Yes.
Horton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next item D, consideration of purchase of mower for the wastewater department.
Okay, we've also received quotes to purchase a John Deere 970R mower. This mower will be utilized in the wastewater facilities to maintain those. It's replacing a mower that currently has over 5,000 hours and a hand-me-down from the Parks Department a few years ago. Therefore, I'm requesting authorization to purchase the mower from Perryland Partners LLC Wichita in the amount of $16,887.93. This was a budgeted item at $23,000 and will be paid out of wastewater contractual funds.
Councilman Benner?
I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the John Deere 970R mower from Prairie Land Partners Wichita in the amount of $16,887.93.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of the mower for the wastewater department as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Ewart. Yes. Benner.
Yes.
Horton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have item E, consideration of purchase of a sewer camera.
So we've also received quotes to purchase a Bear Sight 330-foot push camera that has a 360-degree camera head. This camera will be utilized to inspect wastewater assets, so sanitary sewer lines, stormwater lines. This camera will replace a previous camera that has probably 1990s technology and resolution. Can't really see many cracks in it. We're requesting authorization to purchase the VersaSight Pro 330-foot push camera and 360-degree camera head from Key Equipment, Kansas City, in the amount of $33,280. And this is a budget item at $35,000, and we paid from wastewater contractual funds.
Councilman Crum?
Does this take any kind of training to know how to run this thing?
No, I mean, the sales guy will probably come down and show us how to use the tilt head. The one that we have doesn't have that. It's just you push it in, you can see what you can see. This one we can actually tilt. We can look up like your home's sanitary sewer line. If you call us with sewer issues, if we need to, we can look at it and see if your tap has become displaced. In the past, we couldn't see that. So that'd be probably the only piece that we may need a little bit of training on, but the sales guy at Key Equipment does a good job of
Any kind of warranty?
training. Most likely, but I do not know what it is.
Okay.
Councilperson Barton?
Make a motion, we approve the purchase of the VersaSight 330 push camera and 360 camera head from Key Equipment, Kansas City, for $33,280.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of the sewer camera as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Ewart. Yes. Benner.
Yes.
Horton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, next we have item 7, department reports. A, administrative services. Georgie?
The mayor already reminded everyone about the senior center chili cook-off on Saturday. We have the home show coming up on March 7th to the 10th, so I invite everyone to come out. We will have a booth there. I am still needing one volunteer on Saturday from 10 to 2:30, so if you could work that, just contact me or Danielle. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next we have city clerk, Angie.
Evening. City offices will be closed Monday, February 19th for President's Day. Also, it is that time of the year where you need to conserve your water usage, so the January, February, March usage is what we use to calculate our sewer average rate. So that will be your rate for the following year, beginning in June. So you want to make sure you conserve these months. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Next we have police, chief.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just wanted to introduce our visiting officer tonight, Lieutenant Malcolm Young. He's in charge of our investigation section, so say hi to him as you go by out there. That's all I've got. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Next we have public works, Tony.
I have nothing.
Next we have recreation, Rob.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The Haysville Rec Department's youth soccer deadline is this Friday, February 16th. We'll have our pickleball tournament on February 17th. We're having an open swim at Campus High School in the auditorium on February 16th as well. Mothers on Nerf Wars is on February 24th. Our youth baseball, softball registration deadline is on March 2nd. Shamrock Shuffle 5K is on March 9th. Trivia night will be on March 16th, and looking forward to part of the O6O on April 20th. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next we have item 8, appointments. A, city prosecutor, Josh Pollock. Councilperson Barton.
I make a motion, we appoint Josh for another year.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to appoint Josh Pollock as a city prosecutor. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rarden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next we have item B, appointment of Jimmy Wallace to the Planning Commission for the remainder of the unexpired term. The term is to expire June 2025. Councilman Benner.
Make a motion, we approve the appointment of Jenny Wallace to the Planning Commission for the remainder of an unexpired term to expire in June 2025.
We have a motion and a second to approve the appointment of Jimmy Wallace. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rarden.
Yes.
Ewert. Yes. Benner.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next we have item C, appointment of Brandon Troop to the Planning Commission area of influence for the remainder of the unexpired term, which is to expire June of 2024. Councilman Crum.
I make a motion that we approve the appointment of Brandon Intrube to Planning Commission, the area of influence for the remainder of the unexpired term, which will expire in June of 2024.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the appointment of Brandon Troop as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rarden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next we have item 9, off agenda citizens to be heard. So I do have several cards, so when I call your name, if you can come on up and state your name and your address, and have 5 minutes to talk whatever you like to talk about. So the first person I have is Ed Hill.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and City Council members, we were kind of under the impression, I come from the development down across from the Turnpike entrance, okay? And it was our understanding that we would get to talk first before the initial zoning and stuff was passed, okay, to express our concerns about that. And evidently that wasn't on that's not the way it turned out. Anyhow, I just wonder if any of you members have been down there. Do you know what kind of traffic problems there are and are gonna be? What that does is allow that development to double in size. And it's 1 square block. So, Mr. Mayor, if it was in your development that you're in, and somebody decided to put in double your houses with 1 entrance, that goes to the second busiest road probably in Haysville, how would you feel? And I have other issues, okay? I'm talking for some of the people here, and all these people, almost all these people, that's the reason they're here, is they wanted to express their concern about the passage of that zoning. There's, like I said, they have doubled the size of that, and there's one road that goes out, and one stop sign right across from the turnpike entrance. There's 2 school buses that come through there twice a day, okay? I would not have had any problem, I don't know about the other residents, but I'm wondering why that didn't get developed by the developer to begin with, because there's probably 6 or 8 lots down there that could have had, and still can have, single-family dwellings. The one up by the Buddhist temple, if anybody's been up there while they're having a good party, that's one road in and one road out right beside that stop sign. And that's all on Plaza Drive. So, second of all, we have not seen the plat, anything, we don't know if there were gonna be any lights on the streets, nothing. And I was told that we won't see that plat for another 30 days. If that makes any sense to anybody, let me know. The 2 school buses, this is the main thing that really bothers me. I'm an old guy and I don't get up that early, so the traffic kind of doesn't bother me. But the thing that I want you to think about is, that's gonna double the traffic in there, and for the kids standing out beside the road waiting for the school bus. I've almost, and it's my fault, I didn't, there's cars coming off the Turnpike Bridge. When it's dark, part of them don't have their lights on. So you start to pull out there and there's a dark car coming, you're not gonna see them till they're almost on you. So that's one of my concerns. The most one is, I want you to imagine these school children standing out there on a cold day, it's dark, okay, and they're standing behind a car trying to keep out of the wind. And they hear a car coming and they step out. I lost a daughter, and I guarantee you, you don't ever, ever want to have that emotion ever again in your life. So I'm worried about the traffic, because what's gonna happen is there's a loop. So anybody that can't get out here and you've got 10 or 15 cars piled up at that one stop sign, they're gonna try to go around the loop, okay? And they're not gonna go around the loop slowly. They're all gonna be trying to get to where they can get out, and you're gonna have 10, 15 cars piled up at that stop sign. And that, to me, that's looking for trouble to happen. So, like I say, I don't have any kids down there, but I'm expressing what some of these parents said and what they would like to have done. My solution is, on the Buddhist temple that goes along there, if anybody wants to go down there and take a look at it, he could go ahead and put 4 to 6 of these multifamilies, change it from commercial to multifamilies. That'd give him 4 to 6 of the multifamilies. And he could go ahead and develop the lots that are already there. And if he wanted to do a lot split, I got no problems with that either. So he could put another 6 to 10 deals in there for single-family dwellings in the single family, and keep the single families there and the multifamilies out front on the road that the Buddhist temple goes to. So there's my concern, Mr. Mayor and Mr. and Mrs. Council members. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next we have Sharon Powell.
Hello, I'm Sharon Powell, and I live at 70444 Shaheen with my husband. We've lived there almost 9 years. He's retired. I've been telling people I'm retired, but I'm not quite. I'm still licensed realtor, and I just haven't quite been able to give it up yet. So I'm 95% retired. Anyway, the reason I'm here, when I read this on the website about our case number 2024-01, and I was at the Planning Commission on January 11th, and I spoke against it. And this also talked about the city council meeting and gave today's date. So that's why I'm here today. Anyway, one thing I want to talk about when I spoke to the Planning Commission is that the commission itself never talked about doing a partial rezone and the pluses and minuses of that. Their position was, we're doing this. I would like the city council to consider doing just a partial rezoning. And this has to do with item 3C that you read. While I'm not against some duplexes, I am against them rezoning of so many lots to put in 15 duplexes. That's 15 residences in such a space. At the Planning Commission meeting, that is where they stated that this would be 15 duplexes, 30 rental units. Zoning would also allow them to be 2-story units like those just off Grand. The Country Plaza Villas addition is a smaller housing addition on almost half-acre lots. Plaza Road is also one loop that has one entrance and exit out of the addition. I counted, and we have 23 residences in that addition. So adding 30 rental residences would be more than 100% increase in residences, as well as over 100% increase in traffic. Chapman Street is where the majority of these rental units would be built, as well as where the traffic would enter and leave these rental units. Chapman Street is just a 2-lane road. If any of the 30 rental units has more than one car, or had any company visiting, or any repair people to their units, this would clog up Chapman Street. The Haysville school buses also enter and leave this addition several times a day. With children, there are safety concerns with the added traffic and congestion. My request is for a partial rezoning, to leave the lots in Block A as single family. Here's the map. And that's those north of Chapman, right here, to leave those single family, the same as all these around it. Leave the reserve in Block B single family. That's that little sliver that you see right here. In Block C, leave Lot 3 single family. That's one right. You have 1, 2, and 3. To leave 3 as single family. This would leave lots 1 and 2 in Block C to be developed, but would keep the single family neighbor intact as best we could. This would still let some property be developed, minimize the traffic and congestion to the neighborhood from what is currently being proposed to change. As no plat was available for viewing, we are unsure of any changes to Chapman Street width, any parking, both at the 30 rental units and on-street overflow parking, and street lighting for safety. Also, I might mention that in Andover, they have a sign that is posted on a property that is proposed for rezoning, so that anyone who doesn't check the city's website would know of proposed rezoning and could check it out. I would like the City Council to consider recommending this to the Planning Commission for future discussion and action here in Haysville for implementation for such a rezoning sign for future properties. So that's all I have.
Thank you for your comments. Next we have Delta Meadows.
Hi, I'm Delta Meadows. I live at 908 East 71st Street South, which is on Plaza Drive, no, on Shaheen Drive. I was there before all this happened, before the mobiles and everything. So I've been there about 38 years, I think. Anyway, I'm the one back in the corner by the turnpike that had 2 horses out there. Haysville took me kicking and screaming and annexed me. And I don't have any specials because I'm out there by myself. But I also was a bus driver for Haysville for 28 years. And I know what the traffic is like coming in and out There's been some really bad accidents there. I don't know if you guys ever keep track of it, but people coming off the turnpike, you know, they can go straight or they can go left or right. And there's a school bus and like the hill coming over, when the school buses come over, you know, it's dark. In fact, when we first moved there, I passed Plaza Drive 3 times during a storm because I couldn't see it. And had to go back over the turnpike thing and come back around. And because it's dark, you don't have one light, and that's the one that's right by the turnpike, okay? And my concern is if they're going to build 30 family units, and there's what, 22 of us back there, houses? 23. Yeah, 23. And we have to get out of that neighborhood for some reason. We're stuck. And I think, well, you know, that when you guys said duplexes, I'm thinking of 2 houses. That's one, okay? Houses, not these big apartment-looking things, you know. Which I thought, well, that wouldn't be too bad, you know. Maybe we'd have some trick-or-treaters. And I thought, well, and if they took and made, what's the one in front of you guys? Okay, there's Shaheen, but what's the other one? Shaman. See, I don't even know the names of the street because it has nothing to do with my address. Oh, that street, if they could take that one and make it go through the industrial park and give us another way out, it might not be so bad. But if I want to go to Haysville, I have to come out and turn. If I want to go to Derby, I have to come out and turn. If I want to go to the turnpike, I have to come out the same way and go straight. If there was a way that we could get out of the neighborhood other than 71st Street out to Broadway, that would help a little bit. But like I said, I was a bus driver for 28 years, and there was more than, when I was driving, there was more than 2 big buses. There were mini buses. Mini. Yeah, I drove a mini bus. I was a special ed driver, yeah. So, but yeah, and I've seen some really, really horrible accidents at that intersection, because it's an intersection. People come off the turnpike, they don't know what you're wanting to do, and if you don't have your blinker on, they don't know you're going to go straight, you know, because you're getting on the turnpike, and it's just a real traffic area, and I don't know what your guys' idea of fixing it is, but I'm against the big duplexes. I wouldn't mind the small ones, maybe.
Flat, 1-story ranch style.
1-story ranch style, yeah, something like that. But these great big ones, it's like, that's really going to cause a lot of traffic problems. And I only have one way out. Now, if I could jump the turnpike fence, I'd be okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have J.C. Moore.
Well, good evening, Mayor, City Council, and citizens. I'm J.C. Moore, and I live at 717 West 4th Street. And I have a problem in that area in the amount of truck traffic that comes up and down it. It's a busy street, and I counted there's 30 trash and recycling trucks that come up and down that street every month. That's every month. That's a lot of traffic. And I've heard that, I don't know if I didn't check on it, but that the street repair budget is about $600,000. Is that pretty close to right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I got it on good authority. And much of that street repair, it probably goes to repairing damage caused by those trucks, because almost everybody that I've talked to says that, you know, big trucks damage the property there. And I think we need to reduce the number of trucks that go up and down our city streets. I think there's probably probably 30. They go up and down every street in the city, probably collecting trash and recycling. So there's an awful lot of truck traffic there. And anyway, I thought the city council started a good project to reduce the number of trucks when they started franchising movement to franchise that. However, you probably all got this card, which I've checked it out, and it's all full of misinformation. There's hardly anything there. But it got a lot of people mad, and they showed up at the city council meeting when you were talking about requesting proposals, and they didn't even bother hearing what the proposals would be because they were angry about it, all the stuff that was said here. And so that didn't pass, and I am really sorry that that didn't happen. But maybe they wouldn't have been so angry if they'd actually known what trash services should cost. I pay $92 for trash and recycling. About 60 of that I think is trash. I think almost everybody in Haysville pays something pretty close to that. And that's a lot of money really compared to other cities. Valley Center, where my daughter lives, pays $55 a month for trash, quarter for trash and recycling. All these numbers are per quarter, that's how they charge. Topeka, I have a friend there says they pay between $25 and $42 depending on what kind of services. But if they get trash and recycling, it's only $42 in Topeka. And Derby pays $52 for a large trash container and recycling container. But if you're willing to take a small container, they only pay $42. So you get trash and recycling in a little container for $42. Well, if you recycle, about 80% of household trash is recyclable. And if you put your recyclables in your recyclable container, you don't have any trash or I have one little bag every month or so. So it would save a lot of trash pickup, and it's really important, I think, that people recycle. Anyway, I think we might want to look at the numbers here. At the meeting, there was about 40 angry citizens, and they might not have been so angry if they'd realized how much more they were paying than necessary for trash. Haysville Pride conducted a survey. 464 people responded, 448 favored franchising, and 16 were against it. That's a huge number. So you got 40 that showed up at the meeting, and you got the 464 that responded to the survey. But there's about 4,000 houses or homes in Haysville. And I don't think those 40 people who are all upset, if they even were, without knowing how much it costs, should have influenced the decision for as many as 4,000 other people. So I'm not asking the city council to go through that process again. I think it's been turned down, and it'll be a while before they want to take it up again. But I think they should survey the 4,000 residents of Haysville to see what they prefer. And I'm always one that wants to cut costs, and there's a very simple way to do that. I get a letter from the city every month with my water bill and all that in it. And I think you could put a ballot in there and ask people to sign it and send it back with their payment. And you could find out what the people really think. And if more than half the people in Haysville would like to see the franchise, I think the city council should take it up again. So that was just my reasons for coming here. And but I really hope that you'll take up the motion, make a motion to reconsider that and actually poll all the citizens to see what they think. Thank you very much. If you have questions, I'll stand for questions.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, next we have, that's all the names I had. Next we have item 10, executives, unless anybody else wants to talk. All right, seeing none. Next, item 10, executive session, we have none. Item 11, review of expenditures, A, summary of January expenditures.
I move to receive and file the January expenditures.
Second. We have a motion and a second to receive and file the January expenditures. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Rarden,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crumb,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have item 12, the consent agenda. Councilperson Barton?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rarden,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crumb,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have item 13, council items. A, council concerns. Any council members have any concerns? Seeing none, we'll move on to item B, council action request updates. Tony?
In regards to 7106 South Broadway, District Court found the property owner guilty on all 6 counts by a jury. Tomorrow, sentencing date will be scheduled. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, we have item 14, adjournment.
Mayor, I make a motion, we adjourn. Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting. Any discussion? Question, please.
Brewster,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rarden,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crumb,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.